All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about building a blueprint, a real plan for turning those huge dreams you have into something you can actually hold. And we're going to start by confronting the one person who, let's be honest, gets in the way more than anyone else you.
Wow. I mean, this quote, it just cuts right to the heart of everything, doesn't it? The real tragedy in life isn't failing. It's not falling down. No, it's regret. It's that feeling of looking back on a life you played safe, a life lived on the ground, and just always wondering, what would it have been like if I had just leaped? So what is it? What's keeping us all standing on that ledge?
Well, for most of us, it starts with this little voice, right? A quiet but super persistent voice inside our own heads. And its only job seems to be to paralyze us with all the ways things could go wrong before we even take a single step. Yeah, that's the one. The voice of the what ifs.
And there it is. That's the one. That question right there has probably killed more dreams than any real obstacle in the entire world. I'm serious. That single thought, it fuels our hesitation, our procrastination, our decision to just stay put. It's like yanking the emergency brake before the car's even in drive.
Okay, but here's where it gets kind of interesting. We think we're afraid of failing. That makes sense, right? But a lot of the time, we're actually afraid of succeeding. And you might be thinking, why on earth would I be afraid of that? Well, it's because success means leaving what you know. It means stepping out of that comfort zone for good. All of a sudden, there's a new reality, new expectations, new pressures. Success is a huge risk, and our brains are literally hardwired to keep us safe and away from risk. So let's just flip the script entirely. Let's ask this question instead, because this is the question that unlocks absolutely everything. Instead of obsessing over what could go wrong, what if you gave just as much or maybe even more energy to what could go right? What if all that work, all that risk actually leads to exactly what you want? Or maybe even something better? Ultimately, it just boils down to two totally different paths. There's the timid approach, right? It'll keep you safe, for sure, but it also keeps you small. It convinces you that good enough is your ceiling. Then there's the other path, the one where you get that risk isn't just part of progress, it is the path to progress. Nothing, and I mean nothing worthwhile, was ever built inside a comfort zone. So once you've actually decided to confront that fear, you arrive at this huge turning point. It's a real moment of truth. It's the moment you stop looking outward for all the obstacles and you finally start looking inward. You know, for so many of us, our default setting is a victim mindset. It's so easy to go there. Oh, it was my parents' fault. It's because of my background. It's the economy, the system. Look, it's an easy trap to fall into because it lets you off the hook. It absolves you of having to do the hard work of actually changing your situation. You get to be right, sure, but you also stay exactly where you are, stuck. And this right here, this is the true cost of blame. The second you point that finger at someone else, you've just handed over control. You're literally saying that someone else has the power to determine your success, your happiness, your future. You're giving away the keys to your own life. Now, I want you to think about all your setbacks, all your disappointments, but also think about all your wins, every single success. There's one element that is always present. Just one. You are the common denominator. And that's why the absolute hardest, most painful, but also the most incredibly powerful thing you can do is look yourself dead in the eye in that mirror and take radical responsibility. It's about apologizing to yourself for holding yourself back. And then deciding from this moment on what you're going to do about it. Okay, so you've confronted your doubts, you've taken responsibility. Now what? Well, now comes the work. The real work, the part that happens when nobody's watching, when there's no applause, and there is absolutely no guarantee of a reward. This is what we call the dark room, the invisible phase. It's the kid practicing his free kicks at 5 in the morning, even though he just got cut from the team. It's that relentless preparation for an opportunity that hasn't even shown up yet. You've got to get this. Success isn't born in the spotlight, it is forged in the dark. And this image, man, it captures that perfectly. The essence of that unseen struggle, the pain of the process, the discipline, the sacrifice, all that effort, none of it is wasted. It is an investment. That struggle becomes the very foundation of your future strength.
And listen, this isn't just some motivational fluff. There is real science behind this whole mindset. It's called hope theory, and it's made up of two key parts. First, you've got pathway thinking. That's your confidence that you can figure out how to get there, that you can find the roads. And second, you have agency thinking, and that's the deep, unwavering belief that you are the person who can and will get it done.
Now here's a fascinating and totally practical, science-backed tool you can use to fuel that agency. First, sharpen your focus. Just stare at a single point on the wall for 30 to 60 seconds. It actually triggers a release of adrenaline. Second, and this is kind of counterintuitive, instead of visualizing success, I want you to vividly picture the cost of quitting. Feel the disappointment, the regret. And third, you use what's called a space-time bridge. You mentally connect the tiny, immediate action you're about to take with the huge, long-term goal it serves. This creates a real sense of urgency and meaning.
And this is so crucial, because the goal isn't just the trophy, or the title, or the money. The true prize is the person you become along the way. The character you build, the courage you develop, the faith in yourself that you create from nothing, that is the real victory. And this brings us to the final act. You've battled the doubt. You've taken ownership. You've put in the work in the dark. Now it's time to step into the light and claim what you've earned. At this point, the mindset completely shifts. Your backup plans, your safety nets, they disappear. This isn't one of many options anymore. It is your one and only path forward. That is the definition of total commitment. You stop waiting around for someone else to pick you for the team. You pick yourself. You step up, and you recognize that you are the first pick. You are the only option. Why? Because you already have everything you need to succeed. All of that work in the dark, all the preparation, it was all leading to this exact moment. Not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. The time for hesitation is over. It's your time. And you need to understand that this is bigger than just you. You have the chance to be the one who presses the reset button, the one who changes the trajectory, not just for your own life, but for the generations that will come after you. So, after everything we've explored, we end with the only question that really matters. If someone is going to do incredible things, if someone is going to break through, if someone is going to build a legacy,